Hi, it is the Human Operating System time. This channel is for educations and technology only. So today I'd like to share with you something really critical, and that is do not take conceptual thinking as reality. Yes, do not take conceptual thinking as reality. So often our Wing Chun friends message me or wrote me asking me about the concept of many things, such as the concept of shoot in, as I often share with you in the video. Now, yesterday there's Wing Chun friends asking me, is the shoot in concept Lat Sao Chik Chung, as we all heard about the Lat Sao Chik Chung? So is it that the shoot in concept is the Lat Sao Chik Chung concept? Well, we have to be careful here. One need to have the shoot in impulse momentum handling support by the proper body conditioning in order to carry out Lat Sao Chik Chung. That is the reality. Okay? So in order to do Lat Sao Chik Chung, one need to be able to handle the shoot in impulse momentum handling, which is support, or which need to be support by a proper body conditioning. So this is the shoot in, the Lat Sao Chik Chung is not a concept. It is a description of momentum handling or impulse momentum handling, which is needed to be supported by the proper body conditioning. So it is not just a conceptual thinking. Now, to make it more clear for you, let me explain you. So what is an impulse momentum handling support by proper body conditioning? Using an analogy will make you will get you to know this clearly once for all. So, as an analogy, a snake shoot at its prey and bite it. Okay, shoot at the prey and bite it. That is a momentum, an impulse momentum handling, which is based on the snake's body. Okay, so the snake just shoot at the prey, okay, stung the prey, and that descriptions, it is a description of an impulse momentum handling based on the snake's body. The snake has to have the body conditioning, body mechanic in order to be able to do that shoot in. Okay, and it shoot in, it just shoot there. Now, if we human just thinking, oh, how is this snake shoot at its prey? We really don't know what's going on, because we are not snake. We don't have the snake body, and we do not know how to do that, handling that thing. Okay, so you see the difference? we thought that, oh, the snake shoot at the prey. If I say, well, you know, shoot in is like the snake shoot at the is prey. Well, you might thinking, now the concept of shoot in, you might think I know it. But in the reality, we don't have the body of the snake, and we really don't know how is it like the snake handling the impulse momentum shoot in to the prey and stung the prey. Okay, so make an example for the Wing Chun, which is we usually get into this. Okay, the difference between the conceptual thinking and what is the reality, or impulse momentum handling, which has to base on or support by the problem mechanic, is this. If we say Tanda, the entire world know about Tanda, right? Just go to any Wing Chun forum, you say, well, can you please tell me what is Tanda? Then you can see maybe 1,000 different ways of describing Tanda. Well, because everybody have their concept of Tanda, right? And in general, what people think about Tanda and what people describe about Tanda is standing there with the structure, and you just tan in one hand and then you strike on the other hand. That's called Tanda. Am I right? So you punch me, you strike me, I tan you with my structure, and then in the same time I strike you. I tan and strike. So tan depend on different people. It can be blocking, but no matter how it is, people say tan or accepting or whatever, is always blocking and striking. So all this concept is the strike coming in, you call it tan, or you call it using your structure to how to say that, to accept him, or using the structure to tan him and then strike. There always is means, if you strike me, I am at this structure position, or at this against you positions. I'm going to stop your punch to come in, stop it, and then strike you at the same time. That's what people's thinking. That's what the thinking, the conceptual thinking is. Okay, you can see all in the YouTube. They can stand in the Iji Kamyongma, or they can stand in the rush forward. You know, when the punch comes, you just go blocking or whatever they call that tan, and then strike in the same time. Okay, so that's the thinking concept. But in the reality, Tanda is not that. Tanda is not that. Tanda is when you strike me, I slip sideways. This is receiving, and then I strike at the same time. So I do not mess around with your momentum coming at me. I do not block it. I actually make use of what it comes, and then on top of what your momentum, I accelerate in, I shoot in, accelerate in, and do the strike. So it is like the car coming at me. Instead of I rush forward or stand still to block it, to stop it, while at the same time shoot at that guy, it is slip sideways, let the car go, and then you just crush him from the sideway. So you make use of his momentum, and you use your momentum to crush him. So you actually make use of the entire momentum instead of you go face to face. Either I using a structure here, try to block him, or try to stop him, or try to resist him, or try to go force against force with the Tan Sao and then strike him. It is not that. It is, he come, you just go, slips in, and using his momentum on top of your momentum and strike him. Okay. So what's Lat Sao Chik Chong? Lat Sao Chik Chong is exactly, you slip in, you make use of his momentum without trying to block, to stop, to whatever his momentum. You use your momentum, which is get in, to strike him. It's a momentum play. Okay? So, in order to do that, one need to have the body condition, the proper body conditions to be able to do that, and be able to know exactly what type of momentum is that. So in the Thanta, at least in the 1850s, the arm come, this arm, this Tan is actually receiving, and receiving or guarding. If you touch my arm, the Tan arm, then it is receiving in. If it doesn't touch me, it is a guarding so that it doesn't hit other place. And while the momentum go, the Tan go, strike in, make use of his momentum and my momentum. So it doesn't involve in blocking, go force by force, try to disable or crush in or anything like usual common concept. And not to mention that when the momentum come in, why do we want to stay there like a rack or a structure, try to block the momentum come in? Well, if we try to block or to resist against that momentum, we actually take the momentum. It's going to disrupt us. Or even if whatever come in, we rush in, same thing. So the shoot in 1850s, the short strike, actually all traditional Chinese short strike, it slips in, and making of his momentum is not impact or disrupting our own momentum. That is called what? That's called soft. Using soft to handle the hard. That's what it is. Okay? So this is called Lat Sao Chik Chong, disengage and thrust in. You come, I slip, disengage and thrust in. And this hand is helping me to disengage or protecting me. That's the Tan part. Okay? So you see how different it is from what it is in the 1850s until today, when you have 1,000 people, 1,000 people have their idea and the concepts and the understanding, but everybody stand there. You know, I need to have this structure. I have to rush out with my structure. Okay. Well, if the guy is smaller than us, okay. If the guy is say 50 pounds more than me, how can I go in there like that? It's going to destroy my body. But with the slips, it's always slips. Doesn't matter how big you are. Like a big truck crash at you, if you try to stop it, to resist it, no matter what you do with your structure, with the wall or whatever, or a car rushing front, you still small one also always have to take that hit. But for the slips in or shoot in, it's just go, or Lat Sao Chik Chong, it just goes sideways. It doesn't is disengage and thrust in. So disengage and thrust in, Lat Sao Jik Chong, doesn't mean that this hand, and then I get rid of your hand and then hit you, strike you. Or when your hand is gone, I strike you. No, it just slips in. So Lat Sao Jik Chong need to know what is the handling of the shoot in and have the body condition to do that. Well, if you stand on this E.G. Kamehameha like a rack, or you push forward like that, that is not the way you train your body to slip in like a snake shoot in with that minor angle. It's a different story. Okay. So as many ask me, you know, because it's in Wing Chun Matrix on this shoot in concept and so forth. If you look at that, there's a map there of the Wing Chun Kung development. One need to have this to develop the momentum handling, including your breathing, blah, blah, blah. It's not just, oh, I know the concept, I can try it out. So there are many friends ask me, so Hendrik, why do you present it easier so that everybody can try it? Well, how can you try it? Even the shoot in. I present it, shoot in, you thinking is a conceptual thinking. I present things shoot in, but you don't have the body conditioning and you do not know how to handle the impulse momentum. You're thinking what you train now in your Wing Chun is what it is. We often do that. Okay, it's not about who's right or wrong, because we think what people describe is what we think. Okay. So as in the thing is like one need to ask oneself: do one go through this? And in terms of momentum and so forth, physiology training here, there's what this book is about. All this talking about different things. If the body is not training that way, we don't know which type of impulse momentum. We really don't know what to do. Okay. And in the Wing Chun Inception, it go even one step more in. With the H model, with the heart rate zone. If we want to talk about shoot in, there's the momentum play here. And the momentum play here meaning that right away, our heart rate will be in the zone 4, zone 5 type of training. To the minimum, the zone 3 type of training. So this is, if you look at that, you know, this is the zone, impulse momentum zone, and then this is your heart rate, and then you can measure it with the Garmin or the tracker, the force tracker, like the other day I mentioned. So we need to know that it is not a concept. Knowing the concept is just going to mess everybody up for decades. If you look at Wing Chun's evolutions for this, say, 5-6 decades, people have different concepts. Like for example, a popular one is E.G. Kamehameha. You have to stand in the triangle stance. Okay? E.G. Kamehameha, stand in the triangle stance. And then later on, people say, well, you need to have a structure, and then you need to straighten your spine, and then somebody bring in the Tai Chi concept, say, well, you have to have the Chi, sinking Chi. So it evolved for past 40 years, 50 years, it still have no impulse momentum handling, has no body condition for the shoot in. So you become, no matter what, using internal power, mind power, or structural power, you're always sitting there, like you can see in UFC, MMA, sitting there and try to take whatever coming at you. And now, what it come in since 1996 is a takedown. And right away, one have no idea what is going on, because like the other day, in my other video, I say that there's 3 angles. One is a direct to direct, One is the guy is coming down to your, this is your waistline, it's coming down like that. Another one is your ankle here, it coming down like that. So it disable whatever in the top, and it completely disable that structure, that internal, because it is not an impulse momentum handling. It doesn't have the body mechanic to support that. Okay? So in the meantime, we can keep saying, you watch in a video on YouTube. Many people will say, I believe that Wing Chun is not a martial style, it's a concept. And then some will say, well, it is this concept, that concept, I have this internal concept. Well, you see, all this is a conceptual thinking. It got nothing to do with the reality of traditional Chinese martial arts. This is a common denominator, okay? The same map, Wing Chun map on top of it. And with the thinking concept, it's not going to be able to be verified with the heart rate, like the in the H model. And now you are facing an MMA guy which is exactly sports science orientated, and it is impulse momentum handling orientated with their body conditioning, like our friend, our best friend, Mr. Xi Xiaodong. Now, all those thinking concepts fall apart because it is just a thinking concept. Okay? So the reality is we need to know what is going on. We want descriptions of impulse momentum and body conditioning. We don't want concept. Everybody can have all the concept, the idea, the conceptual thinking, but that is far, far away from the descriptions of the impulse momentum handling with the required body conditioning. Look at the MMA guy. Look at the BJJ guy. Look at the Thai boxer. Okay? So this, we need to differentiate this. It's not saying that who's right, who's wrong, I'm right, you are wrong. It's not. It's like this is two things we need to be able to differentiate. If we do not differentiate this in Wing Chun, then we're going to fall into a usual traditional Chinese martial arts trap, which is, I think I completely know or understand, but in fact, I have no idea what it is. Those are the conceptual thinking mess. Just look into YouTube. How many people in Wing Chun promoting internal Wing Chun always tell you, sinking the qi. Because this is a qi, internal. Okay? And this is from Tai Chi, or using your yi, not using your strength. And they still stand in the same Yi Ji Kam Yang Ma with triangle shape, and their spine is straight and so forth. And when they do Tan Da, they just still do the same thing. Like, you know, sometimes they say, you want to stick with him, and then you strike him. Well, how can you strike something which is very fast shoot in? You can. Like Xi Xiaodong play with that guy, the Tai Chi guy. You shoot in with the momentum and the body conditioning. Wei Lei, the other guy, can take it. So that I want to stick at him, ahead of him, and then I have Fa Jing. Forget about those. Because time-wise, if you have a high-speed camera, all those push hand stuff or Fa Jing stuff is not going to be able to do as fast as that shoot in. Like you get Muhammad Ali or Mike Tyson smash a punch. Can you have the time to get receive the force down to your body and then reflect back? You never see this in the past 100 years. You go check the history of the Chinese martial art, go to Thailand fighting the Thai boxer, even the guy with the internal art or whatever art. See what happened. So it is impulse momentum handling, it is body conditioning, if you want to talk about fighting, okay? All those push hand style, well, you know, it depends on how big your body, what is your game you play in the real life. You never see in the real world, okay? You never see in the Kyokushin Open, World Open. You never see in the competition with the BJJ. You never see in the UFC. You never see in the MMA. You never see in China now. That's your reality. So Wing Chun is based on this momentum handling and body conditioning. Traditional Chinese martial art is there. That's why I put the map up here. Okay. That's why there's the map here too. There's a map here, and then with this you translate it or map it or connect it to the today's sports science. So we know, we have an equivalent standard reference, which is we can compare us what the opponent in MMA have and what do we have. We talk apple with apple, not other thing. It is important, like our Western boxing friend and so forth. So this is to share with you today, okay? And if you really want to know that, read these two books like a textbook, like a math textbook or physics textbook. This is not my biography. This is not some grandmaster's biography or legend or whatever. This is like a math textbooks or the physics textbooks or physical education textbooks. Okay, it is not. I believe so. I think so. When you deal with impulse momentum, you need the body condition. Not just thinking. Thinking cannot do a thing. And in fact, it is really bad because when one disconnect this, separate this, separate with the impulse momentum world, that is where one get into trouble. Do you think our Wing Chunner brother who is on the stage fighting those MMA and BJJ, standing there with the structure and so forth, like, do you think they like that when they take those hits? I can guarantee you, nobody like to fail. No. And the issue is, if we do not have this educations put in place, we have no idea what hit us, because we keeping thinking on this conceptual thinking on this world. Well, this world doesn't exist in the reality. It exists in a movie, okay? So let's not take this as a painful stuff too, okay? Or too pain to swallow that this type of misunderstanding. Just take it like, we all have to learn. So we learn, we change. And as soon as we learn, we change, we know the difference, we move on. And that's the way how we progress.